Everyone, welcome to the Coach Harry Show. Kendall, Grayson, Coach Harry, and Roman Kraemer, our guest tonight. We thank Earls, as always, for having us here on this Tuesday night. Coach, we'll get into the games here on the weekend, and a couple of wins, exciting games. I hope for the fans at home that tuned in and watched. But we talked about that's the team that's at the top, and you guys were able to go in there and get a couple of wins. Not easy to do, but a couple of quick wins there on the weekend.
Well, I think I've had more people surprised that we went up there and won two games. Everybody I've talked to, the surprise on their voices. Well, geez, we do. That's kind of the comment of the year so far. Us going in there and beating them twice, and over the time that I've been here, we've always played well there. We just haven't probably got probably not for 60 minutes. I think the last time we played in there, we were winning 3-1, and we gave that one up, and then last year a couple times we were also up a couple goals at times, and just couldn't close it out. So we like it playing up there. It's a nice rink, and they usually have a great crowd and pretty boisterous. And as I said, I just think when we go on the road, we've played well there. And to get two wins, I have to admit, a lot of time, to walk into that barn and get two wins, it was a great feat. The guys did a heck of a job. But as I said, I over the course of the last 2 years, I think in my heart we've played well there. We just haven't got the results we wanted, because we've either got in penalty trouble or made some mistakes that you can't make against a team like that. And this weekend we didn't do that. So it was a great feat. I'm proud of the team. We responded great. We had a great win the weekend before, and I said about things going to ignite, maybe something going to gel together with a team here like this. And we came back and put two more games back to back. So hopefully that's a great sign. And as I said, I was happy. I thought the guys did a great job. Even when there was some adversity during the game there, I could see a difference in us, that we weren't maybe panicking as much as normal. And as I said, it was just a great weekend for us to keep going. And then now we got a little bit of a break, but we got a long road to go here. So as I said, hopefully good things are to come.
Roman, you're back again here this season in the front office as well, doing a lot of work during the week. How's it been for you so far this year?
It's been awesome as always. Enjoying my time here, and hopefully for years to come.
You're sporting the nice hat, with the NASCAR
Yes.
for the
Yes.
Clash tomorrow night. So I don't know if everyone's going to the Clash tomorrow, but dress warm.
Yeah.
But it should be a good time.
Yeah.
And as I said, a nice hat though. Who designed that?
Definitely wasn't me.
Oh, okay. So, but it should be a good time tomorrow night.
I think we're going to have that problem. That's going to be a theme tonight, is he's not going to want to take credit for a lot of the stuff that he does. But that's okay. Coach, so again, a couple of wins. We're going to get into those here more in depth. But, overall, this is about the halfway point of the season now. You look up and it's a tightly contested battle with PD there for that last playoff spot. Overall, kind of, what are you thinking going into this bye week that you have here this weekend?
Well, hopefully we can get some rest and continue where we've gone the last 2 weeks. And actually since probably Christmas, where, as I said, we haven't put it together all the time, but as I said, when we have played well, I really liked it. I think we've done some great things. We've got scoring from a bunch of guys, and as I said, we're starting to learn how to play maybe away from the puck a little bit better than we have maybe earlier on in the season. So it's going to be a tough road. I think we play 3-3s coming up here in the next 2 months. Week off this week, so if you look at the schedule, it's going to be pretty compact. And next week we kick it off right away, and we're going to have to go to work and make sure we get some points that weekend.
All right, we'll take a break and come back and talk about the thrilling overtime win in Binghamton on Friday night. Thank you.
When you're craving that slow smoke flavor done right here in Winston-Salem, there's only one place to go, Honky Tonk Smokehouse. From tendered pulled pork and fall-off-the-bone ribs to fresh house-made sides, Honky Tonk has it all. Not a meat lover? They've got delicious vegan options too. And when it's time to party, let Honky Tonk Smokehouse handle the catering and event planning. They'll bring the flavor to you. Stop by 145 Jonestown Road and taste why the locals here can't get enough. Honky Tonk Smokehouse.
What are you doing, bub?
Just fixing my chair.
You should call Contract Business Solutions.
Good idea. I'll give them a call.
Proudly serving the Piedmont Triad area for over 17 years, Contract Business Solutions partners with leading manufacturers to create innovative, budget-friendly workspaces. From design and layout to delivery and installation, explore our capabilities at cbsworkspaces.com. Looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate around Winston-Salem and the Triad? Meet Jennifer Sapp, your trusted local realtor. With nearly 30 years of deep experience, Jennifer specializes in everything from historic homes and remodels to investment properties, college town housing, and short sales. She's known for honesty, integrity, and making the process as stress-free as possible. Ready to make your move? Call 336-782-3148 or visit jensapprealty.com today.
And hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Coach Harry Show. Kendall, Grayson, Coach Harry, Roman Kraemer with us tonight. Coach, we'll talk about the opening game of the weekend and what was a really exciting matchup there with the Black Bears, and different outcome than you had just talked about, the 3-1 lead there last time. And something, a stat that I mentioned on the broadcast on Saturday is you have multiple goal leads every time you play in that building this season, which I think that alone is impressive. But you end up winning 2 of the 3 in there, which is great. So we'll talk about the Friday game. So LaBelle gets a couple of goals there Friday, obviously the overtime game winner, but he gets the scoring going back in the first period. Whitey gets the assist on the goal. You guys are off and running there at about the halfway point. They get another one, though, or they get one, and that's a tie game, 1-1 after one with a power play goal. So 1-1 after one. What were you thinking there on the road Friday night?
Well, Whitey's in the stand in the audience here, and he told me, can you make sure that pass over to LaBelle was pretty nice? And so it was a pretty nice pass. So no, it was a great play. We got the puck and made a great effort there. And as I said, he put it home there. It was a great play, really good thing to get us going, and that's what we needed. We need those are the things against that team there when we have battled hard against them and not been successful is when we've given up a couple goals early on, and then we seem like we're chasing the game all the time. So for us to jump out there right away, and they jumped back and got a goal right away pretty quick there. But again, I just like the way the atmosphere on the bench. I like the way things were going, and as I said, I thought after the first period there things were going pretty good for us. So we just had to keep it going.
And you mentioned that early goal in the second period, and I thought that's really where the turning point was in that game, because they get that goal to make it 2-1, and you're down there in the first minute of the second period. You score the next 3 goals, and one of those was in the third period, but you get the next 3, you get the next 2 there in the second period, a power play goal. The power play did a lot of good stuff on the weekend in total, but we can talk about the Friday game specifically because there was 3 power play goals scored there, and the first one of the night there was Whitey there in the second period to get it tied up, and at that point you got a 2-2 game, and then Roman Kraemer here gets one to give you the lead.
Well, the one thing that we've got to keep improving on, and with this team here, is we've played well during periods, and then the next period it seems like it takes us 1 or 2 shifts to get going again, and we've got to correct that. We can't come out and we let them back in the game there early on, but the response was fantastic. You know what I mean? And that's what it's always talking about. What's your response to something when you play bad or you play well? You have a good shift or a bad shift. How do you respond to that? And we responded very well. The power play was moving the puck, giving opportunities, and as I said, things worked out very well. So, with the talent that we have up front. Whitey's line with Kraemer and right now and Cunny and that, and then the other line with Mott there now with Ford and Sally there. As I said, and they're on the power play, and we had Keeley in there too. So we moved the puck around really well, and as I said, we've been getting some really good opportunities, and now things are starting to cash in for us. So and give them a lot of credit. They've worked at it, and now they're getting the benefits.
Roman, what did you see there on the goal to make it 3-2?
On that one, it was just kind of an odd man rush that started back in our own zone. A nice pass up from LaBelle up to Whitey, and then perfect pass from Whitey, and kind of mishandled it and just threw it at the net and ended up going in.
Similar to the overtime game winner a few weeks ago. Just gave you nice speed there.
Well, he just shot it.
He tends to do that quite often.
Yeah. he did something that's unusual. He shot the puck and actually hit the net. And so apparently the rumor is if you shoot it on the net, there's a chance it can go in. So, but,
Is that how it works?
That's how it works. Yeah, we learn something every day here. So.
So you get the 3-2 lead there. Sally gets you a big goal there in the third period to get a little bit of space, a couple of goals there at 4-2. But, Binghamton has an answer. That was a power play goal there. Binghamton answers back. And then the extra tacker goal there at the end in the last minute. Previous to the overtime, kind of walk us through that third period and what you were thinking.
Well, we get up 4-2, and then that's when you got to kind of close the door. And we kind of got a little running around a little bit there, and they scored that one goal. And as I said, then the 6-on-5, the guy just threw it to the net, and I think he tipped it from like 20 feet out or something, or 25 feet out. So it was one of those tough situations. We kept them out. That was one of those breaks that you like to have back, or as I said, I'm not blaming Boris. It was just one of those. As I said, you get a tip like that, it's a tough situation. So. We let them back in the game, but now we got to go to overtime. We like to get the point was important to us, but we knew we needed more. And as I said, then we get into overtime, and which normally we get the penalty. So, but this time we didn't get. They got the penalty, and as I said, we took the opportunity and scored.
So you get that goal there. I know that you talk about a lot that you do work on the 3-on-3, but probably not a ton of 4-on-3. You just don't see much of that.
Right.
So, able to get a goal there from LaBelle. But, you talk about Boris, and, that rush down the ice in the overtime game winner there starts with a massive save from Boris, and then it just transitions the other way. And LaBelle had an option, just kept it and shot it. But Boris makes a big save, and, LaBelle takes down the ice the other way.
Well, that was the key there. We kind of let our guard down a little bit, and they got an opportunity to score there. We were on the wrong side of the puck, and fortunately for Boris, and that's what he's given us. He's given us an opportunity lately to be successful and keep us in the game. And as I said, and then when we got the puck, that overtime, that's what usually happens. One team gets a real good chance, don't score, and then the other team goes down and scores a goal. So as I said, kudos to Boris to make that save. But as I said, I give the guys a lot of credit. We never quit. We kept battling, and we earned those 2 points, and they were big points for us.
And so you get the 3 power play goals there in the game, but, the Friday game and really the Saturday game, just a lot of different penalties, both ways. The Friday game, there was only one penalty that was called in the first period, and it seemed like, someone was on the power play the rest of the game almost. Right. I know we've talked about this before, but, that's got to be a disruption for just kind of the flow of the game and how you'd like to play, I'd imagine.
Well, you lose the flow, but as I said, the power play is important, and I think we're starting to get, early on in the season, one night it would click, and then, we wouldn't click for a couple games, and we'd be getting opportunities, and now I think things are starting to click. I like the 2 different power plays, a little different on both situations, but they're both getting opportunities, and the guy beside me here and a couple other guys in the team there, when they get the opportunities, if they shoot the puck, we got a great chance of scoring goals. So if we continue to do that and getting the chances, then that's a bonus. Teams want to try and be physical on us a little bit at sometimes, and if they do that, or those situations happen, then we got to take advantage of the power play. And this weekend showed it that if you're going to try and do stuff like that, then we're going to score goals in the power play. And that's to our advantage.
We'll talk about Saturday's game next. But before we move on, anything else you'd like to add there on the win on Friday?
Well, it was just when you haven't won in a barn for I think the last time we won was my first game. When we went up there,
over 2 years ago now.
Yeah, 2 years ago. There we went up there and we won the first time up there. And as I said, I think we've played well. We just haven't got the goals or the opportunities that we would like to have up there. So to get that off our back a little bit and to beat a team like that, and as I said, the response around the league, it was like, oh geez, they lost again, or they lost. So it was good for us, and hopefully it gave us all a lot of confidence.
Yeah. All right, we'll take a break and come back and talk about the win on Saturday next. Thank you.
2 pillows, endless possibilities. At Cotton & Crate, we make it easy to refresh your home season after season. Our 18x18 and 12x20 pillow sizes pair perfectly with our seasonal collections of interchangeable covers, so you can refresh your style anytime without cluttering up your closet. We're proud to team up with the Twin City Thunderbirds, celebrating hometown spirit and the comfort of home on and off the ice. Thunderbirds fans, enjoy $5 off your order at cottonandcrate.com with the code TBIRDS 5 off. Cotton and Crate, 2 pillows, endless possibilities.
Gwin Services has been serving North Carolina for over 50 years, ensuring the safety and comfort of our customers' homes. We take pride in bringing together the best electricians, plumbers, and heating and cooling technicians to bring convenience and unbeatable value to our customers. Life can be hectic. What better way to simplify than to have one company you trust to take care of all of your home's repair needs? Since 1972, integrity and customer satisfaction have been at the heart of everything we do. We are proud to have built a name our neighbors trust, one that provides peace of mind and a service that can be relied on, today, tomorrow, and for years to come. Thank you for trusting Gwin Services with your home. We are proud to stand behind the work we do every single day to serve our friends and neighbors here in North Carolina. We are Gwin Services. One call does it all.
Being your best is hard. You gotta take care of yourself. You got your husband.
Let's put in a pool. For the kids.
For the kids. Forget the car. How about a motorcycle?
And if you own a business?
We need servers from, like, this century.
Yeah.
At a Legacy Federal Credit Union, we're committed to helping you be your best you. Whether it's with an unbeatable car loan rate, home equity line of credit, or small business help.
Who's the best?
Visit alegacy.org for our best rates.
And hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Coach Harry Show. Kendall, Grayson, Coach Harry, and Roman Kraemer, the guest on the show this week. Coach, we just got done talking about the win on Friday night, a 5-4 OT win. A little bit of a different game, I think, on Saturday, but another good result in a 7-5 win. You get a couple of goals from a few different players. Chris Mott gets a pair there against his former team. Schnapp scores a couple of times in the first period. But a little bit of a different start in that you're leading 2-0. Connor Craig gets a goal. Jacob Schnapp gets that second goal. But then, once again, Binghamton, they have an answer, as they did on Friday night. But kind of a back and forth, first period there. Lots of goals, and you guys are at the head there at the end.
Well, it's always, you're always wondering how, after a win on the Friday night, how you're going to respond. Especially after a big win like that, sometimes there's a bit of a letdown. And so I give the guys a lot of credit. I thought we came out right away, and Kraemer got that goal. I'm not sure who passed the puck there to him at the time, but nice play there, and kind of got us going there. And then the one guy there that we need back in the lineup, and he came back and played. We need him on the ice more, and we need him to be a force for us. And he scored 2 goals the other day. Him and I had a great chat there about a couple of days before we went away on our trip, and we need him. He brings an element to our game and to our team that we need him, and we need him on the ice and do the right things. And as I said, he can be a force for us. So I give Schnappy a lot of credit. Scored 2 goals, did a great job, and as I said, I hope that that continues, because as I said, that's a big presence for us on the ice.
3 power play goals on Friday, 2 power play goals to follow that up on Saturday. But Boots gets that tip in, and that goal there to put you ahead 4-2. That was a power play goal back in the first period. So once again, you go in there, you get a 4-2 lead. But then to come out early in the second period, once again, you're able to extend it where the previous night they had scored a quick one there, and you had a response, and a different response here, able to make it 5-2. Was the only goal of the second period there from Chris Mott. Yeah,
every time they seem to gain momentum or get something, we responded, and that's what that shows that we're starting to come as a team, and we got up 5-2 there, and as I said, I think. In that territory, we have to learn. We're starting to learn how to handle that situation. And as I said, I think we're getting better at it. Are we where we want to be handling that 5-2 game? A lot of times, on the bench, sometimes you have to hold the horses back here a little bit. You get a little excited and want to be on the wrong side and do it. And for us as a team, we talk many times about our identity, and that's not our identity to let the horses just run. So as I said, we're learning how to be there. We need some more work on it, but I like the way we responded Friday or Saturday night in a lot of ways. We had good power play movement. As I said, I thought everyone took care of business, and I was pretty pleased even after the second period going in.
Yeah, so the third period there, Whitey gets a goal at the 8-minute mark, a power play goal from Chris Mott, and that was his second. And we had words with him during the break, so we'll continue to pump his tires here. So it's a 7-4 game at that point. Binghamton gets the one there at the end, but overall 7-5 is the final score. Able to go out and win that game in the third period.
Who scored the first goal?
I think it was Whitey.
Okay.
Yeah.
But no, I thought we, as I said, just from top to bottom, I thought we did a great job. We let them back in a little bit and got there, but then we responded back again, and then we closed it out. So I was very pleased the way we handled everything, the way we were. After Friday night, I think some things had to be said, and as I said, I think we responded really well, and I was pleased. As I said, teams always want to take 6 steps at a time, and we got to take 1 step at a time. And I think we're taking we've taken 1 step at a time, and we're starting to get rolling here. And once that ball gets going there, that's what you want. And right now, I think it's going in the right direction. So we just got to keep it going.
Roman, Binghamton's a team that obviously had given you some trouble over the last couple of years and a little bit this season so far as well. Just, from a playing standpoint, and you and your teammates that have been around a while, that must have been pretty nice to get a couple of wins there against that team on the road.
No, it was awesome. I mean, anytime you play that team, whether it's home or away, you're marking your calendar for it, and you'd like that game's marked, and you want to win it, and we won both of them this weekend, and that's the last time we play them this year. Yep. So don't have to worry about them anymore until finals, obviously.
Yep, that's it.
It's a long ways away.
It is. Yep. Coach, another good goaltending performance from Boris, and I know the stats say you gave up 5 goals and he gave up 4 the first night or whatever it was, but once again, that's a player that was really key for you this weekend. I know we talked about it a little bit before, but he goes out and wins another one for you Saturday night.
Well, and the one thing about goaltending is, and everyone worries about stats, and I always go back to one of the goaltenders that's in the Hockey Hall of Fame and probably didn't have very good stats, and is Grant Fuhr with the Edmonton Oilers, and all they cared about, and I remember I saw an article, all he wanted to do was give his team a chance to win. And if it was 6-5 or 7-6 or whatever it was, that's all they asked for him. And he made those saves at the right time and crucial times. And the game at the overtime game, he made a great save. If he doesn't if he lets that in, we lose the game. So that's what those goaltenders sometimes worry about, how many shots they had or what their goals are against. And I know those things are important, but the W and the L's are probably even more important. If every time you go out and you put a W up, it's a lot more important in my books. As a player or as a coach, that's what you're looking for. You're looking for the W's, and as I said, he did. I thought he had a great weekend and gave us an opportunity. The one goal there, I know, other than lost the blade there, he couldn't get back. But no, I thought he had a great weekend.
Yeah. A couple of players for you I thought had a good weekend that we haven't talked about much, as they made their debut this past weekend. So Chris Mott, we talked about here with a couple of goals and scoring against his former team. What'd you see from him this weekend?
Well, he's a skilled guy, and he can shoot the puck, and he took advantage of it today, this week. I know the one goal on the power play, he just walked right in, and he shot and hit the net, and the other one there, I think was on the power play there, and everybody was looking at 40, and 40 slid it over, and I think he put it in the empty net almost. So, but you got to be in the right position. So he's going to be an asset for us and help us out there. And as I said, I thought he had a good weekend. And Garcia had a good weekend. First time coming in and playing defense sometimes is hard. Not knowing how we play in our zone or how things are going, even offensively and things like that. But I thought he had a good weekend, and I just expect those two guys to even get better as we go along.
We'll go to our next segment with the fan questions next, but first, anything else you'd like to say there about the weekend or that specific game on Saturday?
Well, you hope after a weekend where a couple weekends we've had where kind of been up and down and things like that. You hope things get going, and all you hope for is this week we have off. We don't play this week, so we've had a couple practices, and then the guys are going to get a couple days off here. So hopefully when we come back, we're rested and keep this ball rolling and don't change. But the guys know that it's important, and we're going to have a little meeting here tomorrow that we've got to make sure that we stay focused, because this next segment of our schedule is going to go so fast that we won't know what hit us. When you play that many games, and the coaches put it on the table a couple of times, how many games and how many days we're playing. When you go through that, good or bad, you got to make sure you're ready, because as I said, when we start next Friday night or a week Friday against PD, next thing you know, it's going to be April 12th, and so we've got to be ready and focused, and hopefully that ball is going in the right direction.
All right, everyone, thanks for tuning in here. That was the recap of our Saturday game and the two games here on this past weekend. We'll take a break and come back and answer some fan questions next. Thank you.
I want to stop losing sleep over this. I want to know that surgery is the right decision. I want to protect what I've built. I want a plan designed just for me. I want to know that I'm in excellent hands. I want the latest and greatest. I want to continue to grow, no matter what life throws my way.
For the best surgical care, you want Novant. Novant Health. Best surgeons, amazing nurses, remarkable care.
Maple Chase Golf and Country Club offers the best in recreational amenities in the Triad. Come enjoy a meal at the Pine Brook Bar and Grill, relax by our pool and cabana, and gear up at the Pro Shop while sharpening your skills on our 9,000 square foot putting green, and play around on our 18-hole Ellis Maples designed championship golf course. You can find out more at maplechasecc.com. That's maplechasecc.com.
Flow Offer to Purchase makes it easy for you to generate an appraisal for a vehicle online in under 5 minutes. You can confidently use Flow Offer to Purchase to determine your vehicle's trade-in value or to get a real offer to sell it to us. Here at Flow, we've always had a transparent, interactive appraisal process that our customers love. We developed our Flow Offer to Purchase tool to offer you that same great experience online or through our Flow Garage app anytime, anywhere. Using Flow Offer to Purchase is simple. Either enter your license plate number or VIN, and the system will pull up basic information about your vehicle. Some vehicles have options or extras that need to be selected in order to pull an accurate value. Then just tell us about the current condition of a few things like your tires, dents and scratches, or mechanical issues. From there, a real offer on your vehicle, whether you buy from us or not, is just a click away. Just a heads up, our staff will check over your vehicle to ensure your Flow Offer to Purchase is accurate. Your satisfaction is our priority. Flow Automotive dealerships have processed tens of thousands of vehicles using Flow Offer to Purchase, which has resulted in buying many thousands of cars from customers. Try Flow Offer to Purchase for free today. You can access this tool by clicking Sell Trade on flowauto.com or your dealer site by starting the Sell Trade dialog in the center of the homepage.
Finish strong. Start here. Atrium Health Wake Forest Baptist.
When you compete at your best, you need a team that keeps you moving. At Yadkin Physical Therapy, we're proud to be the official physical therapy provider of the Twin City Thunderbirds. From the first evaluation to hands-on treatment, we focus on what matters, reducing pain, restoring mobility, and building confidence. Because performance isn't just about recovering, it's about training smarter, strength, stability, balance, and control. Our therapists tailor every plan to each individual so you can return to the ice, the gym, or the job feeling stronger. The same level of care we provide the Thunderbirds is here for our whole community. Students, weekend warriors, and families helping you stay healthy and perform at your best. Yadkin Physical Therapy in Yadkinville. Call 336-677-1800 or email ypt at yakinphysicaltherapy.com.
And hello, welcome back to the Coach Harry Show. Kendall, Grayson, Coach Harry, and Roman Kraemer, our guest here on the week. We'll get into some fan questions. Some of these are for Roman, some are for Coach. Coach, we'll start with this one. I know that the bus got brought up in a couple of questions, so it was an interesting bus ride home, and the fans want to know about that.
Well, just actually, you know, whenever you get a flat tire or something goes wrong with the bus, it seems like it's a catastrophe, but it really wasn't bad. Like, you know, unfortunately at, 1 o'clock in the morning coming home, it's all of a sudden there was things didn't smell very good on the bus. We could smell the tire. So, flat tire. But within 2 hours, we were gone and back on the road. And we were more worried about how the roads were. All we kept hearing about is, all the snow here, and we were going to make it. And I'll be honest with you, I think the guy upstairs was looking after us because, being an extra couple hours later, when we were driving in the snow when we got to North Carolina, we were in the daytime, and it was a little better, easier to see the roads and things like that. So I think it might have been one of those times where at 1 o'clock I wasn't very happy, but at 9 o'clock when we were on we could see where we were driving. It was pretty good.
I talk about stuff that doesn't always show up on the score sheet, and I think something that's not on the score sheet was Kevin and his performance on the way home. He was big for us.
Well, he's always he likes to go from A to B as quickly as we can, and but you know what? He's a horse. He's usually a one guy there. He drives by himself, and I'll tell you, he's a godsend. He gets us to the games early, and also, as I said, coming home, we always get home as quickly as we can. So he does a great job.
One of the first indications we had a problem was, as you said, a bit of a smell there. That leads us to our next question. Roman says, who smells the worst after a game?
Probably Schnapp.
Schnapp? All right.
We'll just throw him under the bus. Yeah. That's a good one.
We should put him underneath the bus.
We should. That's
we
right.
don't have to smell him after the game.
We should.
This one says, do you have a pregame ritual? If so, what is it?
Pre-game ritual. I mean, I have a bunch of random small ones, but they kind of just change constantly. I mean, usually if I score in a game, like whatever I ate before that game, I'll eat the same exact thing the next day. Okay. Score again or get a point, keep doing the same thing, but obviously it keeps changing.
Okay. The only thing that I find myself that I've done over the years is I won't wear whatever team's color that we're playing. I won't have that in my tie. I might wear that tie against another team, but like Binghamton's green. If I had a green tie, I wouldn't wear it this weekend. I might wear it another weekend. That's the only thing I really
I also get Starbucks before every game, so
okay.
Throw that in there. That never changes.
No, you can't go wrong with that. This question says, who are you the closest to on the team?
I'd probably have to say Whitey.
We're not supposed to say his name.
What was that guy's name again, Kevin?
Number 20.
If you guys were to go into a haunted house, who gets scared the first?
Who would get scared first?
Number 20.
Number 20.
Yeah, that guy.
That guy. I think Mikey might have been.
Yeah.
I think Mikey. I think Mikey might get scared the most.
He's a popular answer. We get that question from time to time. He's a popular answer. This question wants to know about your jersey number. Where did you get that? Had you worn it before? Anything like that you can tell us about your number?
He gave it to me when I showed up. I didn't really have a choice. I was told I was number 18, but actually, funny enough, growing up, I wore it, I think, for a year or two, and it was a number I liked, so kind of stuck with it.
Nice. I think that first year there, we were just trying to get, certain guys were here, they had their numbers, and as I said, we didn't have a whole lot left over, and as I said, that was just he might have had a choice of two numbers, and so he took 18. So he didn't have a great choice.
Kind of a cool way to lead in this next question. Next question says, did you choose Twin City or did Twin City choose you?
I think it chose me.
Okay.
We got hit. Yep. You went. Was it Macon? No,
it was Fayetteville.
He went to Fayetteville, and the coach called me and told me we had a guy and he liked him, and as I said, he just thought he needed some more, to come back here and play a little bit. And as I said, so far it's been a great addition to not just on the ice but off the ice. And as I said, he's done a great job here. And as I said, now he's happily married, and just a great, as I said, just a pillar for us. As I said, not just on the ice but also off the ice.
Roman, we've had this question before. It says, are you an aspiring rapper like Farmer? I'm going to guess no.
I am not.
Do you have any hobbies or anything that you do away from the rink?
Nah, not really. I kind of collect just like knickknacks, I like to call them. My wife hates them, but I have a bunch of NASCAR like figurines and NHL ones.
Okay, nice.
He's into the NASCAR now.
He is.
We're into NASCAR.
There's,
I know
there's
he
a
goes,
lot of us.
Mo and that number 20 got me hooked.
Oh, okay. Now, how many races did you go see this summer?
I think it was 3 that I went to this summer.
Okay, cool.
Speaking of number 20, we got to do this. I told him that I'd read it exactly like you say it. Who's your driver? Who's your driver? Who's your driver?
That would be Kyle Busch.
Kyle Busch. Okay. All right, let's get back on track. That was a good time to bring that one up. Quick question here says, why are you always smiling on the ice? I didn't know that was such a bad thing, by the way.
Because I'm always having a good time. You can't have a bad day when you're on the ice.
There you go.
It's funny, over the years I've played with guys that never had an expression on their face. Even if they scored a goal, there was like a little bit of a smile. And then other guys, like Kraemer, who, always were laughing, or not laughing, but always seemed like they were having a good time, you know what I mean? And so everybody's a little different. And sometimes I like the idea that, you're I don't want to say relaxed, but you're enjoying yourself.
Sure. What kind of banter is spoken between you and opposing teams? Are you one that's vocal in those instances, or not much?
Not much. I don't really say anything unless someone comes and says something to me first.
Okay. That's fair enough. That's how I would expect.
I've heard him
actually.
a couple times.
Just a couple times.
I've heard him a couple times.
It's usually the refs I'm yelling at.
This question's for you, Coach. It says, can you explain, getting points over the weekend, which is what your team did. It's 3 points for regulation win. You get the 2 for the overtime win, 1 for an overtime loss, and none. But that's a little bit different than how the NHL and a lot of leagues score it.
Yeah.
But able to go up there and get 5 points on the road was a pretty big weekend, obviously.
No question. Like, when you're playing against teams that you need the points, and right now, obviously Petey are right on our heels there, and I think we were even going into the weekend here. So we needed all the points we can get, and when you win a game, that's why, like, even the game on Friday night, if we could snuck out with to win that one without going into overtime, might have even been better for us, but it wasn't. And as I said, next weekend when we play, we got 3 games, and there's 9 points on the board for her. And so it's not like the old days when you had 2 games or 2 points, and I know 6 is still quite a bit, but 9 is for some reason when you look on the standings and some team got 9 points on you, that's a big mountain. And so as I said, we got to keep clawing our way and get as many points as we can, and whatever happens at the end, as I said, if we continue to do what we're doing, we'll get those points.
Roman, what's been your favorite moment of the season so far?
Favorite moment of this season?
Yep.
Can't really put my finger on one thing. I think just being around the rink every day and being around friends and people that are fun to hang out with at the rink is probably the best part of my day every day, and can't complain about that.
He scored some big goals.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Two overtime goals,
yeah.
But
I mean, those are important. But a lot of times it's not even the overtime goals. Sometimes it's the ones that to tie the game late or give us a lead early on in the third period that keep us going here. So I know he scored a bunch of goals like that's really helped us.
And speaking of being around the guys, being around your teammates, there's a question here that says, if there was a reality TV show, who would be the star?
Who would be this? I think John Butita. Showtime.
Okay.
Showtime is
Showtime.
He's going by Showtime these days now.
He's the only one that starts talking and never quits.
Similar question here. It says, if you were on a deserted island, who of the current players and teammates would you want to be with you on that island?
I think I'd have to take Nate Keeley with me.
Yep, that's probably a good move, yeah.
I'm sure he knows how to hunt and fish, so be well fed.
Yep.
I think probably take Boots for the comedy aspect of it, plus all the muscles he's got. He's got to be able to do something with them. And then I would say number 20, but we can't say his name.
So he'd only have 2. He'd only have 2.
Yeah. And then final question here says, who would you like to win the Super Bowl?
Who's playing in the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm the same way.
Was it Seattle?
Patriots. Yeah.
I mean, I think a lot of people dislike the Patriots, so I'll go with, what'd you say, it was Seattle?
Seattle, yeah. I'm going to
go with
say
Seattle.
the same. Yeah.
Seattle?
I'd probably prefer Seattle, I think.
Yeah, I just want a good game.
Yeah.
There's so much hype about the Super Bowl. By the time you get to the game, I'm showing my age, but I've watched a lot of Super Bowls, and for the most part, lately they've been better. But there's nothing worse than getting all of the hype and everything like that, and then the game's not very interesting. When you start watching the commercials, because the commercials are more impressive than the game. Yeah. But I just hope it's a good game, and as I said, hopefully everybody can have fun.
Do you have a favorite halftime show over the years?
Not really. There's been a bunch of good ones. Off the top of my head, but obviously, Michael Jackson a long time ago. That was one that kind of show stopped everybody. Yep. So that's probably one that probably a lot of people remember.
Yep. Roman?
Last year's probably the only one that I can remember. So
that's
I guess
fair
I'd
enough.
have to say Kendrick Lamar.
Okay, fair enough. I'll go with The Weeknd. The Weeknd had a good one a few years ago down in Tampa Bay, so that'll be my answer for that. But that's all we have here for fan questions, and normally we talk about the week ahead. But Coach, I guess we can just go right into our last segment here. It's a bye week this weekend. Something that's very unusual. So I know we got a question about it a few weeks ago, but let everyone know, remind everyone, how are you going to treat practices and the weekend and what you have coming up here?
Well, we skated today, we skate tomorrow, and then Thursday will be like a bit of an optional, but then the guys will have the weekend off. And as I say, we talked about it earlier here, how important the next, starting next Friday, which I think is the 11th or 12th of February, going into the rest of the 2 months and how many games we have. If we don't get some rest now, it's going to show, and so I'm not big on the off weekends. I like to be playing I'd rather play every weekend, but we got to take advantage of it, and I hope the guys have some fun and enjoy themselves, kind of relax. But we'll start back at it Monday, and we'll have a little skate Monday, and then do a little yoga, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday will be work days, and we got to get focused. So hopefully this is a weekend where, as I said, we can get our rest, but we don't want to lose with the momentum that we've got going. So we've got to be ready.
Roman, thanks for doing this. Hope you had fun.
Thanks for having me. I had a blast.
No, it's been good.
Well, that's good. All right. We'll be at Dave & Buster's next week, and I'd like to thank, as always, Little Italy and, of course, Earls for having us here tonight. Really appreciate it. We will be back here in 3 weeks, and looking forward to some good hockey coming up. So thanks again, everyone. This has been the Coach Harry Show.
Thank you.